And I think... Are we recording?
No.
No. We're not recording this. Okay, good. Back to just casually talking to each other. So, what's that lump on your butt?
It's a...
Too real? Is that too real of a question for you?
I guess, because I did have that lump on my butt once.
He does have a lump on his butt.
No, you didn't know him at Emerson.
He just seems like a guy who would have a lump on his butt.
You don't know I've known John since we were children.
And I had butt cancer.
And he did have a lump on his butt.
Was it a butt cancer?
No, it was a pilonidal cyst. Wait, we're recording.
Oh, wait, we are recording this. Oh, no!
I get to know all of John's secrets.
Oh, geez.
Starting at age 18 onward.
Okay. Hey, so spoiler alert, PODRACERS. We have a guest this week.
Hi, my name is Sam. This is episode 6 of the Pod Race. And who is...
I'm John.
This is John. John's usually here.
I'm Sam's roommate.
All you Pod Racers know John by now.
Yeah.
But we have a third Pod Racer here today.
Hello, I'm Gaby Dunn.
Gaby Dunn.
I mean, who else would be, super psyched to talk about your butt? Probably Chaz
Forticello.
But, which is another friend of ours from school, but...
I don't know these people either, Pod Racers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was just trying to give credit to whoever would be super into talking about John's butt cyst.
Chaz, if you're out there, hit us up about John's butt.
Oh, he has much to say, I'm sure.
Does he?
Chad, why don't you...
Chaz? Did I call him Chaz?
Oh, my God.
Is it Chaz or Chad?
Chaz.
One
of my favorite... Can I tell my favorite story? It's not even my story. But John had a...
All right, this has to come down a little bit because we're all peeking mad hard.
Sorry.
I'm peeking, bro.
John had a butt cyst.
Yeah, Sam's rolling right now, Pod Racers.
John had a butt cyst when we were in college, and he had to go home and get it fixed. And our friend Chaz wanted to write him an email about it and about something else that we were working on, a cartoon we used to make called 6 or 7 Popes. And so he meant to send John an email, subject line, Butts and Popes. And then in it, it's just... And popes, if you didn't know what it was, sounded like a fever dream. So he was explaining something about popes in it, and then at the bottom he was like, by the way, hope your asshole's okay. And there was also a literature professor named John Barnard, and he accidentally, instead of John Barrett, sent that entire email to John Barnard, and then sent a follow-up like, please disregard this email. But it basically sounded like Chaz was on LSD and then asked John how his bleeding asshole was doing. And it was amazing. And then this professor never responded because that's insane. Yeah, I mean, it's not funny because you had to have surgery and it was a serious thing. But it was still funny. Yeah. And John had to go to he didn't know what was wrong at first because you can't see your own butthole. So he had to go to...
I had to go to the nurse at Emerson.
Who was our nurse?
I don't remember.
He never saw her again.
It was a lady nurse?
And she asked him multiple times if he was having anal sex.
Let me tell this. Okay.
And you lied to her.
Have you not told this story on the podcast?
No, I have not.
My favorite
on
story.
The Pod Race.
The Pod Racers have not heard this story.
It's okay.
So,
and I just burst in guys, you need to hear the story about John's butt from college.
This is 100% a thing the Pod Racers need to hear.
I know.
This is what you were hoping for when you had me on.
1000%.
Just embarrassing stories about John from college.
Yes.
I have so many.
Let me tell
1000%.
Let me tell the nurse's office story.
Okay, go.
Because it's very interesting. So I go into the nurse's office. I was my stomach was bothering me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, my stomach's been bothering me. I go through that whole checkup. Yes. And then she's like, is there anything else? And at this point, the only symptom of the pilonidal cyst had been blood on toilet paper.
Oh, so you wiped once and you found blood.
And not like a little bit of bright red blood that indicates a hemorrhoid. My toilet paper was coated in blood.
Yeah, that's usually a cancerous sign.
Right.
That's like in a movie where somebody coughs and there's a little blood.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah,
all right,
it was like that. So he goes. So he's like, oh, by the way,
by the
on
way,
the off chance, do you want to check this butt problem that I'm
By the way,
having?
there's a little bit of a problem with my butt.
Oh, so you went in there I have a headache.
Yeah.
Backstory for the Pod Racers is that Emerson is a super gay school. Super gay. Wicked gay population.
Once I saw carved in the bathroom, 2005 worst Oscars ever. That was something somebody would carve. That's a hardcore
It was pretty bad because that's when Brokeback Mountain lost to Crash.
I know. I put that together. No, I put that together. I was like, oh, that's why they were mad. Somebody with a knife.
That's how gay our school is.
That's a good example of
the school is famously one of the most
LGBTQ friendly
campuses.
Hey, we're friendly.
So anyway, John has a problem with his butt.
So we go in, and the nurse is like, "All right, well, first, have you been having anal sex.
She just said it?
She just asked me that, and I was like,
She's
no.
a nurse at Emerson.
Right. Like,
but she didn't say, like,
generally, your answer to that question is going to
yes.
be the honest.
A lot of anal
But, like,
sex.
And a
no
braggy
one's-
yes, like, you better believe it.
But it's also, like, yeah. And so if someone says no, they mean no. Like,
Right.
no one's embarrassed about
Sure.
having anal sex. with
LGBT
her.
friendly.
Right.
Yes.
And so she asked me again, and she's like, you haven't put anything inside your anus? And I was like, no.
Which is, if you haven't, so scary
I know.
to hear from a nurse.
It's like, oh, God.
Like,
Wait,
what?
Maybe something's gone up there then. I don't know.
Yeah, you're just like, this nurse thinks things have been in my asshole. Like, what has been going on back there?
Did they x-ray your stomach and there was like a squirrel?
Oh, no. Just a car and a condom,
a car
like
and a condom.
Jackass.
Exactly.
Rest in peace, Ryan Dunn.
Oh.
Anyway.
So,
She asked me again, and then she's like, okay. And then she's like, and then she's like, all right, so I need you to bend over and take off your pants.
Because you're about to have anal
Yeah.
sex.
pretty much.
So I take off my pants and I like lean over the like exam table, and she's like, I just one more time. Has anything been inside your anus?
This being the
And I'm like,
third time she said.
This is the third time she asked, and like at this point, I kind of want to be like, lady, you're a nurse at Emerson. There's no reason for me to lie to you
Yeah,
about
really.
that. Like, there's no reason.
There's no reason to be closeted at Emerson, for
and then,
sure.
and then she's like, oh, this isn't your butthole. There's a pilonidal. You have a pilonidal sinus.
Oh, the second she looked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second she looked,
She's like, oh, it's not the inside of your butthole. It's
Yeah.
the outside of your butthole.
But you couldn't tell by, like, there was, like, you're saying it's at the crack where
Yeah,
it was?
yeah, the
That's
top.
pretty far from the butthole.
Yeah, probably.
No,
It was
no.
like probably about 2 inches up.
Yeah. Anyway, and then John had to go home, and then we all knew about
Sent
his...
him home from camp.
Yeah, he sent him home from camp.
Well,
And
no,
then,
I didn't. I wasn't sent home. It was just that I was planning on spending that summer in Boston, and then I couldn't anymore.
yeah, and how did we all find out? Did you come and tell us about it?
Someone brought it, I told Chocolate Cake City about it.
Yeah,
It came up
there
at the
was
Chocolate Cake
a
City.
group of us that I...
For those of PODRACERS, for those of you who don't know, I was in a comedy troupe
All of you.
in college called Chocolate Cake City.
John was president and I was vice president.
Mm.
This is what our relationship was. One time, we were. John and I were like best friends in college, but nobody knew that because we were so mean to each other.
Yep.
And so like one time, one of the new members, I was on the train with him, and he was like, "Is it awkward having to run the troupe with someone that you hate?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? John's like my best friend." And they were like, "Oh, I
'cause-
think that you guys hate each other."
Because you guys seem like you hate
You
each
seem
other.
like you hate each other. Oh.
Yeah, I hate Gaby.
Yeah, but like a brotherly sort of hate.
I hate. Yeah, I hate Gaby
It's
like
nice.
I hate Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
Tommy
Tommy.
Wiseau?
But
Like
I
Rusker.
love Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy is John's brother, who's infinitely better than he is.
Okay, that sucks of you to say.
Sorry, but I love Tommy.
It's probably true, though. He's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh
seems
yeah,
like
he's a
he's
good
like-
person.
He's
He's
Yes.
like making the life for
Tommy,
himself.
if you're listening, you're the best. He knows I already think he's the best.
He has a real job.
Tommy's
and,
got a
like,
job. He's helping kids grow. You're here in Los Angeles.
He's also like super handsome.
making podcasts. He probably doesn't have as many butt problems.
But
No, he
here's
does
the
not.
problem
Or
with
does it run a
Tommy
family?
is that Tommy opens his mouth and he sounds exactly like John.
Yeah.
So
That's the problem.
yes, for me, like I would be all over it. But
No.
he opens his mouth and it's just John's voice.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had to like protect him from
Is this
you and
Tommy
your
right now?
roommates one
Tommy.
summer.
Tommy, are you on the podcast right now?
Oh, hey.
When he
my
starts to
impression of
talk,
Tommy.
he also has your same like angry energy.
Yeah.
So like he'll start to talk and it's just like,
Well,
oh god.
pause. Let me just point out that I have always been me. I have always been this asshole.
Okay,
That he had to have that guy as an older brother.
that's true.
Think about that.
That is true. Poor Tommy.
Wait, I kind of think we left the butt story a little bit open.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, and then he had surgery and fixed his butt. What else is there?
Well,
Well,
we
yeah.
talk about the surgery.
Okay.
a
So
little bit.
what happens is a hair follicle, right?
Mhm.
Skin grew over it.
Yes.
So then that hair follicle kept producing all the gross shit that hair follicles produce, like
The sweat.
sweat and pus and all that.
Right.
And it just sort of gets trapped in a sack.
Ball of pus.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So they have to,
Disgusting.
yep, they have to cut out that ball of pus, right? And then there are two schools of thought about how to like heal from that surgery.
Two schools of thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
some surgeons sew up the wound and have the wound grow, like close on the inside.
Sure.
which is a little more dangerous in terms of like infection and anything. Like
the riskier doctor.
It's
The
riskier.
rogue doctor.
It's
like
faster.
Dr. House. If Dr. House was
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah.
We're cutting this guy open.
Yeah.
And we're sewing him back.
Well, it's faster and it's like less painful.
Sure.
But there's a much higher risk of both infection and the initial problem happening again.
Your butt. The initial problem being your
butt.
You're skip all this.
Yeah.
Go to the aftercare.
All right.
What had to happen
So
after?
anyway,
so they break your butt open. Yeah, we don't need to know the schools of thought of pus removal.
yeah. I had the other version, which is that they leave the butthole wound open, and it has to be cleaned every day, cleaned and dressed every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
Dressing.
Now, some people have, for the most part, they would prefer a nurse to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that a nurse can come in and professionally spritz your new butthole.
Correct.
Your literal new butthole.
With like a saline solution and then repack it with gauze.
Right.
Okay.
Now, luckily,
It's
yep.
taking a really long time to get to the best part of this.
So either luckily or unluckily for me, we didn't need to hire a nurse because my mother is a nurse.
Yeah!
So, John, are you telling me and the Podracers that for how many months?
2 months.
An entire summer.
Entire summer, the summer that The Dark Knight came out.
Yep.
Podracers, you remember where you were. The Dark Knight came out. So picture when you were watching The Dark Knight. Now picture John having to get his mom to... While you were enjoying The Dark Knight, what was happening?
Well, every morning,
day.
before my mother would go to work, I would wake up at 7. I would go to my bathroom, remove the previous evening's
Blood and pus
and
gauze.
soaked gauze. Now I would remove it from inside the wound.
How deep was this wound? Bouncy ball?
I was lucky. It was a small one. It was maybe like the tip of your pinky, like the first digit of your pinky.
That's really still a lot.
But
Yeah, it's not as bad.
Imagine that on your fucking...
No, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's not a
Like
little.
no, the average one is probably like the first 2 digits of your index finger.
So your mom had to...
My mom had to.
Clean his butthole
I had
twice
to.
a day.
I had to bend over my mom
Not
and
how
dad's
he
bed.
anticipated his summer would go.
Not at all.
You thought you were going to be chilling by the pool,
No.
eating some Chinese food.
He thought that he was going to be in Boston.
Yeah.
Instead,
Good burger.
his mom had to clean his butthole twice a day.
Did you and your mom talk while this was happening?
The one thing I remember.
Your chores today, John.
The one thing I remember my mother saying was, "Don't worry, I can't see your butthole."
Aww.
Oh, that is sweet.
Well, here's the thing: when you have a kid, that's what you sign up for.
Yep.
Guys.
Like you're gonna be
Yeah,
cleaning
but
buttholes.
you don't sign up for it to happen again when they're 19.
Yeah, how long? How much longer? Okay, guys, kids or no kids? Kids? Gabby?
No.
No kids.
Uh-uh.
Gabby's not having kids. John, you want kids?
No kids unless I can guarantee that they are born on April 20th, 2069 and June 9th, 2069.
I would have a girl if I like accidentally.
Would you adopt? Or would you hope it's like some future where you could tell? Like,
Oh, I would adopt.
But or like a way where you could pick your gender.
I don't know. There's so many.
You don't want a guy.
There's so many futures for me. I could get married to a lady. She might want to have a baby. Like she might want to get pregnant. Is there an air guitar for lesbian babies?
That was an air guitar.
Lesbian babies.
We're
yeah.
really in favor of
Very
2
supportive
women
of the
being able to
LGBT.
raise children.
In my opinion, the worst Oscars was the 2005
Yeah.
Oscars.
Exactly.
Oh, I
Trash?
forget if that made the cut or not.
I think it probably did.
Okay.
Oh, I think that was at the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay,
because we
cool,
talked
cool.
about Emerson being a super gay school.
Emerson LGBT. friendly?
Yeah, I would want maybe a girl, but I don't want kids. I don't think because it seems like just had this conversation with my mom. It seems like you're creating a weakness. Like you're giving yourself purposefully an exterior weakness.
Something to be sensitive and scared about all the time.
Sure, and let's say like someone wants to get at you, they can kidnap your kid.
And there's all these shootings in this country.
Right,
What
and
if
if
my
you-
kid gets shot?
If you pretend that you don't care about anything, it's much easier to do if you don't have a kid to sort of be used as leverage against you.
Pretend you don't care.
My entire life is a strategic game.
Yeah.
I remember thinking right around the time PODRACERS, my father is a retired New York City police officer.
Yes.
And I remember it was like 3 years ago when he retired. And I remember being really worried for me and my brother's safety because I was like, this is the day if anything's going to happen.
That's hilarious. So the scariest day as a cop has got to be that.
The scariest day
I'm
for me.
about to retire.
He just got like a new wisecracking partner who's really like crazy.
Right, they just bought the boat and named it the SS Live Forever.
Oh my God! Wait,
never gonna die.
Are you allowed to tell the Coast Guard story or no?
No, I mean, it's in a bunch of scripts I've written, so I'll tell the Coast Guard story.
Does it involve your butt in any way?
It does not involve my butt.
No, it involves your dad, right? And your dad's friend.
It involves my dad's friend.
Was your dad? Okay.
PODRACERS.
Yeah.
So a lot of my dad's friends, as I mentioned before, my father is a retired New York City police officer.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. And then...
He's Brooklyn 911. Brooklyn 99.
Brooklyn 99.
Is your dad?
He's like a tough guy, right?
I mean...
Kind of.
Sure.
He'd be the Andre Brower of the show.
Yes. That's exactly who my dad was.
And your dad's gay also, right?
I mean, genetically, we can only assume.
My dad's a gay black man.
Yeah. But this is a funny story about one of his dad's friends.
Wait.
Submitted for your approval.
Sorry, wait a minute. New motto?
Yeah.
PODRACERS, my dad is a gay black man.
God.
Maybe this will be a weekly motto.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be our motto every week.
Right.
Maybe not even this week. Maybe a different week.
Tell the Coast Guard story.
Anyway.
Tell the Coast Guard story.
My father had a friend, I believe, Gaby, you interviewed him for your now famous 100 Interviews
I did,
segment.
yes.
I think we're not allowed to reveal his name.
We're not allowed to say his name, no.
But I think he's a lieutenant now. Anyway, he was an officer at the time, and the precinct he was working in got in trouble for like a false arrest or something. I think they held someone more than the 24 hours. I don't know all the details. I should stop talking about it.
Yeah, they got in trouble.
They got in trouble, and like McNulty in The Wire, they busted him to harbor.
Yeah, so he had to work at the docks.
Wait, your dad or your dad's friend?
My dad's
friend had to work at the docks, yeah.
So my dad's friend was working at the docks, painting boats.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around the end of August 2001 when they gave him this detail.
Yup.
This comes up later.
Right.
When about 3 weeks later,
Zoolander came out.
Yep, that was
and it destroyed New York City's feeling of safety.
Y'all remember in September 2001 when Zoolander came out and you just couldn't walk down the streets because people were laughing and dying.
Why do you have an encyclopedic knowledge of movies?
I actually,
days?
you know what it is? No, he's right though. I remember it very specifically because I remember it was the only escape I had that weekend.
Jesus.
I was like, oh my god,
No,
this house is tough
You also knew when
to
The
be
Dark Knight came out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You've mentioned twice the exact release
think I'm
date
autistic?
of films. I'm not saying you're autistic.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
strongly
saying
implying.
I'm saying I've just met you, and I'm
And
just
it's
and the impression I'm getting is quite autistic-y.
Okay, well, so you are kind of saying.
Yeah.
She's strongly implying it
Strongly
until you made her
implying-
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm inferring it. You're implying it.
And I am fighting very hard not to say his name because it's usually very important to the rhythm of it. But he gets busted to Harbor Patrol, then 9/11 happens.
It's called McNulty.
So McNulty gets busted down to Harbor.
McNulty gets busted.
And they put him on a boat. Now all of a sudden it's 9/11 and they're on full alert.
Right.
So the New York City Police Department have boats sort of circling around the UN building, which is right on the East River. And they were on patrol. It was him and the skipper of the boat. It's just the two of them.
The skipper.
Yeah, you can call him the skipper because I don't know his name. We'll call him Skip.
Skip.
So he's exhausted and he's like, all right, I'm going to go down into the galley or whatever the fuck and take a nap here, and hands him a gun, like a huge machine gun. He goes, don't let anyone do anything.
Skip hands McNulty.
Yeah, Skip hands McNulty a gun. McNulty, like, I don't even think he has a badge at this point.
Right.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
He's in trouble. So he's not supposed to have this gun.
Yeah.
He's just like, don't let anything happen.
Don't let any terrorists attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, high alert.
So he goes down, he's taking a nap. They're tied off on some buoy. And a Coast Guard boat comes around. I think it's like a small Coast Guard boat, and the guy's like, you have to detach from the buoy. That's a Coast Guard buoy.
Oh, yeah, so he's talking to him through the...
Yeah, through a bullhorn.
Through the bullhorn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
This buoy belongs to us. You have to get off the buoy.
Yeah.
Baba
So he's like, hang on. Yeah, Baba buoy. Hanging on. He goes downstairs. He's like, listen, the Coast Guard's like trying to get us to like get off their buoy. He says, tell those Navy rejects to shut the fuck up. I'm taking a nap.
Yeah.
He goes back up. He's like,
the skipper doesn't want to. I don't know what to do.
So the Coast Guard guys go away, and then a cutter, which is like a big Coast Guard boat. That's like their actual serious, we mean business boats.
Yeah.
Swings up, and they're like, if you do not disembark from this buoy, we will board your boat.
Jeez.
So this guy's got like a gun, and he's like facing they've got like 50 cals like all over those boats.
Mm-hmm.
50 cals caliber.
Yes.
Guns. That's
Yes.
a gun.
Big
They
guns.
have a lot of guns and men.
So he's like, hang on. He goes downstairs, gets the skipper. He's like, they got a cutter. They're like ready to board. So he gets up and he like says to the captain of the Coast Guard cutter that just pulled up next to him, go fuck your fist. The big blue boat don't move for nobody.
Go fuck your fist.
This is McNulty saying
No,
that.
this is
the
McNulty's
skipper
skipper.
comes up.
Skipper comes back. Skip,
The
okay.
skipper comes up and he yells back at the Coast Guard the greatest like comeback ever, which is fuck your fist.
Go fuck your fist.
The big blue boat don't move for nobody.
So what happened?
They got in trouble.
They got in trouble.
Did he get knocked down even further from...
No, but his next like station was East New York, which
Yeah.
is like the worst neighborhood in New York City.
And that was season 3.
And that was season 3.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think season 3 of The Wire, which
Yeah.
is clearly where John's dad belongs.
Which came out in 2001.
Why? Okay. I have a nephew who is autistic. Like seriously.
What year was he born?
He's a child. I mean, he's like 5.
So 2000.
2000. So when Hurt Locker came out.
Oh my god. Wow.
All right.
New segment. What's where
What
are
year
you on?
did things come out?
Autistic. How do you measure autism? Knowing when
Points.
movies came out?
Points. How many points you get?
I'm shooting some major 3-pointers.
I'm par for autism.
I'm par on
What
the
does that
autism scale.
mean?
I have no idea.
Oh, segment times.
Segment times?
Yeah,
Go on.
Gabby will be here for this.
Yeah, what are the segments?
Well, we're gonna go dive back into a classic segment.
Don't forget the song.
Reading time. Each week we read some of The Hobbit. It's a book. It's a famous book.
Wait, hold on. Let me get a pen. The Hobbit is a book?
Yeah.
It's well, if we want to get technical, it's a novel.
Sure.
It's a
Part of a
children's
series.
novel. Yeah.
Sam, I still would like for you to do the intro song to this.
I don't remember the intro song.
Then make up a new one, Sam.
Okay. Well, it's technically the singing or the reading time segment. So, it's drink your Coronas with some lime. We're just having fuck. Drink your Coronas with some lime. We're about to have reading time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, reading time.
So do you just read directly from The Hobbit?
I read directly from The Hobbit, and each week, well, because my whole thing is I feel more accomplished when I read.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure everybody does, and I don't think we read enough.
Yeah.
So I think if the PODRACERS stick with us, I'm going to read a line from The Hobbit every week.
Oh,
and so
nice.
by the end of the podcast, or hopefully by the end, we'll have gotten through the entire book.
Is that from the library?
Yeah.
When do you have to give it back?
Well, it's a couple weeks from now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have plenty of time.
Okay, good.
We're gonna,
You know, I
sentence.
own The Hobbit somewhere.
So do I.
Okay, well, that helps me now, I guess.
When you're done, you should do the Silmarillion.
Well, we're thinking about what the next book is going to be.
I want to make it Ulysses so that we have to get to that
Oh
one 50-page
my
sentence.
god.
All right, but let me get into this. So it's one sentence. So I'm gonna fill everybody in who missed the last couple weeks.
Yeah, please.
Last time on The Hobbit, in a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. Dun 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 dun. I'm the king of Casterly Rock. I will answer justice with injustice. If you don't if you don't like what they're saying about you, change the conversation. I'm the boss of this family.
Oh my god.
This week on The Hobbit.
Jesus.
It had a perfectly round door like a porthole, painted green, with a shiny yellow brass knob in the exact middle. All right. So that was it. That was reading time. We just drank Coronas with some lime. You just had reading time. Baba Booey. Great.
That is ridiculous.
So that was our sentence for this week. So next week we'll have another sentence, and then the week after that, we'll go for that.
I think HBO presents The Hobbit.
Yes.
That's pretty much what it is.
Starting tomorrow, that sentence will be available on HBO On Demand. That guy who has that nasally voice who used to come on at like, starting tomorrow, the Entourage will be available for you on HBO Go.
I gotta catch up on Veep.
Me too. Well, I have a few things I want to talk about.
Go for it.
Melanie Laurent's face.
I don't know.
It's pretty.
Who?
It's really pretty.
Who is this?
She's from Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards.
She's like too pretty. Like I can't look at her.
Yeah, it's insane how pretty she is.
She's so pretty.
Well, John, that's sort of why I'm bringing it up because I sort of might have just assumed you wouldn't know who it is.
God damn it!
What?
Oh.
Are you just gonna come at me for not having seen Inglourious Bastards?
No. I want you to look at
That movie's so good.
Well, I want you to look at. I want to experience somebody
you want to
looking at Melanie
experience me
Laurent's
seeing
face for the first time. I think
Okay, like here's like.
I don't know.
I think she's almost so pretty that she's unmemorable. Like I know every time I see her, I'm like, oh my god, she's gorgeous. But then I would never like think of her.
No, I think that's true. Also, I forgot how beautiful she was until recently, and I looked at her again. I was like, what?
She's so
that face
beautiful.
is insane.
Yeah.
Is it like
She's just gorgeous.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very like.
John is now looking at Melanie Laurent's
It's super
face
classic,
for the first
but
time.
also European.
Yeah, it's like what you're supposed to get from a model. It's like striking.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something like.
And she seems like she would murder you in your sleep.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Also very attractive.
And she has an accent. You've never heard of her.
You know who else's face I can't get over? Natalie Dormer.
Natalie Dormer.
Yeah,
Who's
she
that?
plays Marjorie on Game of Thrones.
Oh.
But like, look up
Interesting.
pictures of her not from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
She's
Marjorie
unbelievable.
Tyrell.
No, look up Natalie Dormer. She's unbelievably attractive.
Natalie.
But in a weird way. She looks like weird, but good.
Weird but good.
Weird but good.
Yeah, someone
Natalie
on
Dormer.
Oh, whoa,
Tumblr.
she got like a punk rock thing going on.
Yeah, she shaved the side of her head.
What's that about? She looks real sexy with it. Look at this.
Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine she would look like this in real life.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Tumblr when someone was like, I like women who look like they could murder you in your sleep, and then it was a picture of Natalie Dormer.
She looks like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah. She's beautiful.
All right, well, good. This was
Add
face
that to
talk.
your list. Yeah, add that to your list of faces we like.
Okay, Melanie Laurent's face and Natalie Dormer's face.
Mm-hmm.
So for the segment, the faces.
Okay.
Okay, so that was a segment.
All right. You need to do a song though now.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't have one, though.
I'll make
Just
one
sing
up.
"Ooh La La" by the Faces.
We have a
okay?
special guest.
Oh yeah,
Gabby's
special guest song that now after today Sam will have to recreate every
Yes.
time we do new faces.
But new faces for our beautiful faces segment.
We're gonna talk about the faces we like. We don't care if it's into the mic, cause we would talk about them anyway. Cause they're much, much prettier than us any day. So welcome to a segment called Faces We Like and Faces We Love. The end.
you have to recreate that every time we do this
And
segment.
I remember it all.
Okay, good. Good.
So that'll be good.
Great.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gabby.
You're welcome.
That was great. Halt and Catch Fire.
What
Halt.
about it?
I don't know. Did you watch the pilot?
No?
Neither did
Why
I.
is
Me
everyone
neither.
talking
We don't
about
get
this?
AMC.
Is everyone talking about this?
Yeah, why?
Because it's a new show. It's a new big
Yeah,
show
but there's
on
like
AMC.
tons of new shows. Why is everybody
AMC
just
doesn't
like
have a ton of new
who's
shows.
on it?
This girl who kind of looks like Miley Cyrus with her hair. She's pretty. She's
Oh,
pretty.
she was on Conan, right?
Conan.
Robin?
Robin.
Is it the singer Robin?
Yeah, it's Robin.
It's Robin.
Tell you.
You don't even know the words
I don't.
to the song. You just started doing the dance.
Halt
No.
and Catch Fire. Is that what you're
Do you have? Yeah.
Any
I have
other
I have
topics
more
you wanna talk
segments.
about? Oh.
I have more
Our
segments,
Heroes
too.
and Zeros segment.
Oh boy.
Which is what?
Uh
I don't
oh.
know.
What's in it?
Definitely rather be a hero.
Do you have any? Okay. would
Okay,
you-
wait. Go around
Yep.
and say your hero and your zero.
That's what it is.
Okay, so
you
you-
have to start.
Oh.
You,
Hero.
hold on, you have to also sing a song since you're our special guest for the Heroes and Zeros
Oh.
segment.
I need a hero, not a zero for the morning light. I don't know the words to that
Close.
song.
That's
That was
enough.
great. That was
Okay.
great.
Perfect.
That was great.
It's the right words.
Heroes. I just was watching. I'm midway through Orange Is the New Black.
Me too. What
very,
episode are you on?
Very much fine.
Cool.
Very much enjoying both Laverne Cox and Natasha Lyonne. Their performances. They would maybe go under heroes right now.
Cool. So we got those heroes.
Yeah.
Who are your zeros?
Zeros. Well, I don't like that Chris D'Elia talked out against Yes All Women, so he will go on my zeros for this week.
He's got a bad haircut too.
Zeros. All right, now you have to close it out.
What do you mean? I thought you guys would say your heroes and zeros.
John, we all have to close our own out. I think.
Well, if I'm going to do it, I would open it with my own song, but you have to close it now with your own song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of myself?
Yeah.
Heroes were ladies and zeros were dudes. You could have predicted that.
Probably.
I agree. Okay. John, do you have any heroes and zeros? A boat just passed by.
Yeah, a boat just went by.
Fuck your fist.
Fuck your fist. Okay, that fuck my fist, guys.
Fuck your fist, guy. Hero.
Yes.
Zoolander. Zero.
Zoolander 0.
Because that month Zoolander came out.
Man, it was just such a hard time
all
for
those
America.
deaths.
Zoolander was such a good movie.
New York rocked Zoolander in such a way.
You guys remember that part where David Duchovny is a hand model?
Yes,
Yeah.
and he explains to him, and he goes, I literally just explained to you.
Yeah.
He goes, but why male models? He goes,
Listen
"Are
to
you
your
serious?
friend Billy Zane.
Listen to your friend. Okay, that's an amazing movie. Okay, I'm going back
Yeah.
to Heroes. Well, no, Zero's Zoolander. Heroes Ben Stiller for making Zoolander.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
We can all agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's brave. I think it was brave of him to make that movie at that time.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
What if he did? He also canceled his performance on SNL the week after.
What are we saying here?
Ben Stiller did?
Yeah.
Is Kaiser Soze?
Ben Stiller was supposed to be on SNL.
You know who was supposed to be on the planes?
Seth MacFarlane.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. I would have
stopped 9/11. I'm Mark Wahlberg.
It's a Transformer.
Is it? I think it's a Transformer.
Impression segment. Oh,
I'm changing it.
Impression segment.
Changing. I gotta change my vote, man. Hero Paul Wahlberg. 0 Mark Wahlberg.
The segment's over.
Now it is.
Hero Paul Westerberg. 0 Paul Walker. Because he's dead.
Paul Walker?
He's dead!
I appreciate you giving the shout out to Paul Westerberg. But
We're talking about Paul W's. May as well bring that up.
What about Paul Wall?
What about Paulie
McCartney.
Walnuts? Paulie Walnuts.
What about
Oh
Paulie
my
Walnuts?
god.
Guys, Limp Bizkit or Kid Rock?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
Obviously.
Obviously?
Yeah.
Is it so obvious?
Limp Bizkit's more.
Are you my Jewish grandfather? Is it so obvious?
Is it though? Are we? Hey, if we're gonna be honest, though, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock is for
I don't-
rednecks. Limp Bizkit's for dumbasses, and I'm not a redneck. I'm a dumbass. Like I was a dumbass.
I'm a
when I
hot
was
dog
young.
in chocolate flavored water.
You're also from Florida, so.
I'm 3 babies in a suit. John, do you ever clip your
Yeah,
toenails?
no.
Ha!
I know they're gross right now.
Great question.
Okay. This is more visual gag. We'll throw it up at PodRacers Pod. Some pics of the clips, the toenails.
No. Oh, I watched that show Oddities on Sci-Fi,
Oh,
and they have
Jesus
a
Christ.
woman. They have a woman on that show who makes art out of clipped toenails.
Oh Jesus.
They
Yep.
actually look kind of cool. I googled around to see if I could buy it somewhere, but she closed down her website.
Art though? Oh, she closed it down. Maybe the government closed it down.
No.
Toenail, please. No.
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 What other segments do you have?
I don't know, John. Do you have any segs? Ments?
I have a segment.
Guest segment.
Is that not allowed?
Of course
No,
it's allowed.
there's no rules here. This is chaos.
Who should direct Ant-Man? Go.
Me.
Me. Excuse you. Do you have your own hashtag about it?
Hashtag me. Me to direct Ant-Man. Do you have it? Your own?
Yeah,
segment?
hashtag Gaby for Ant-Man.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
And Lexi Alexander, who is the only female Marvel director who directed Punisher.
Yes, she's great.
She retweeted Gaby for Ant-Man.
What?
Yeah.
Gabby friend.
Mostly to call you out for totally forgetting that she had directed Punisher.
Well, no, I
That's a fun
apologized
movie.
to her. I apologized.
Did you say
to
something
her.
mean to her?
No, I said I don't think a woman has ever directed a Marvel film, and then someone pointed her out to me, and then I said I apologize to Lexi Alexander because she
Yeah.
did direct, and
Yeah.
then she was like, apology accepted. Gaby for Ant-Man.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is pretty nice.
She's cool too. She was on a pod race herself once. The How Did This Get Made pod
Word.
race.
Why do you call it a pod race
Oh, you gotta listen to episode 1.
instead of a podcast?
It's because it's what's
Because
a podcast?
of Star Wars?
Thank you.
There we go.
Well, yeah,
Finally
obviously
getting it.
because
Yeah.
of Star Wars.
No what?
So who do we think should direct Ant-Man?
Sophia Coppola.
I have bad news. I think they decided.
I know, but I like thinking of other people's Ant-Mans. Like
Wes
Wes
Anderson.
Anderson's Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Paul Thomas Anderson.
obviously.
Paul Thomas Anderson's Ant-Man.
Scary.
Oh my
That'd
God.
be intense.
What
Yeah,
about
Boy Scouts.
Oh my God, there'd be some good ones.
I like Sophia Coppola's Ant-Man.
That would be very like poppy,
Yeah.
bling ringy.
Yeah.
Man.
They just
This is the most anyone's ever
play a
talked
bunch
about
of
Ant-Man
sleigh
in pop
bells.
culture. It's so funny that Ant-Man is
I
here.
know.
Yeah. Terrence Malick's Ant-Man.
Oh my God! He
3.5 hours.
It's just 3.5 hours of an ant
Actual
crawling around
ants, yeah.
like that's it.
Just
an
voiceover,
actual
describe.
ant.
And then you had the years of my life
Oh
convincing
my
my
God.
friends it's actually amazing.
Christopher Nolan's Ant-Man. And it's just all 80s actors.
Oh my
old
God.
80s.
Michael-
Tom Berenger.
Berenger, what are you doing
The whole
in
cast
here?
of Major League.
Someone was just talking to me about how big of a year next year is going to be, like movie-wise.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
Like,
I'm still so excited for the Duplass brothers Ant-Man.
yeah. All right, Hollywood.
What's that called? Emo-core? What's it called?
Mumblecore.
Mumblecore.
I've seen like a few movies in that genre, and I love Hump Day.
Hump Day's amazing.
But I don't
Puffy
think
Chair?
Puffy
I
Chair
still haven't
is
seen
so
Puffy Chair.
good.
Puffy Chair's good.
Puffy Chair, you need to be like emotionally ready for.
Yeah.
That's the
what I
Duplass brothers, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Puffy Chair is like I can't even. It's everything. It's just everything. It's like it spoke to my brain. It's
Were you
like
on mushrooms when you watched it?
no, I was like going through a breakup
and on
and
mushrooms.
and on mushrooms, and I wasn't on mushrooms, but I was going through a breakup, and I was like,
On mushrooms.
listen, I wish you've seen me on mushrooms.
No, I haven't. I've just heard the stories about you demanding to speak to Barack Obama.
I did do that.
You hold on. You were on mushrooms and were you in
I used
Washington?
to be much more. No, I used to be much more into mushrooms, and I, in one instance, wanted to speak. Yes, when Barack Obama was running for president in 2008, I was on mushrooms, and I wanted to speak to him because I had a revelation that he was too good for America, and that he shouldn't run for president because we don't deserve him.
It might still be true.
Yeah, and so I wanted to call him and tell him it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And that we don't deserve him. We're we're beyond help, and that he's a very good man with good
You're
intentions.
right.
But anyway,
Yeah, I
You
might
were
agree
right.
with you.
and I know
On mushrooms, sometimes you have a very clear thought. That
my other favorite mushroom story is I was in high school and I was in London with friends for like an exchange thing, and we took mushrooms and I was sitting outside in like a wooded area, and they walked off.
I believe they call those
the wood.
the woods.
Well, a wooded area, not like that, and not like I was in danger or anything. Like
There wasn't a wolf?
I could see the school
No Blair
and stuff.
Witch situation.
No Blair Witch.
Okay.
It was the day, and I had a CD player, and I had Sgt. Pepper by the Beatles, and I was listening
Brother.
to it, and I put it on with Within You Without You, which is
And
that
you just
sitar
started
heavy
sobbing?
song. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Sitar heavy
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
And I heard the intro, and I kept waiting, and I was like, geez, it's been a long time. Like, when are the words going to kick in?
And you realize.
And then my friend came over, and she was like, Gabby, you've been sitting here for 2 hours. And I'm like, that's not possible. The words haven't even started in this song. It's been 30 seconds. And she was like, no, you've only had the music side earbud in, and you've had it on repeat for 2 hours. And I had no idea.
Gabby, it's the year 2500.
It was the
flying
freakiest.
cars.
Like, I still maintain it was 30 seconds. Like, I can't believe.
That's awesome.
Gabby, you're our god now.
It was
we're,
insane.
We're an alien civilization that has found you underwater.
Here's one thing to take away from this. Thank God you didn't get to Day in a Life, because that song makes me cry.
Yeah.
He's like the one who's like, woke up, got out of bed.
Yeah, but
put
that-
on my
not
hat,
that part.
And then my head.
No,
And then
not
I
that
walked
part.
to
The
the
car
bus.
crash part.
The car crash part, man.
Yeah, I just had to. That's how
Oh,
it
man.
starts.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Do you remember? I remember. This brings us to the segment I wanted to bring up.
Oh, new segment.
No, returning segment. Things that made you cry this week.
Oh, that's
Oh.
great. Gabby, there's a reg segment that some of the PODRACERS might know about where we just talk about things that make us cry this week.
Because we're emotional wrecks.
Okay, what did you cry about?
Well, yeah.
Almost straight opened up. Yeah, everything. It's been really bad.
I don't think I
just,
have it.
you know. You don't?
No, I don't think I have.
I watched an old episode of Kitchen Nightmares I hadn't seen.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This made you cry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm just in a sensitive place. It was yesterday, so I was very, very, very hungover, and
Damn.
and it was the episode. It was Davide in the North End,
Mm-hmm.
where it was two brothers, an older brother and a younger brother, and the younger brother got busted and went to Fed, for stealing money from the restaurant and using it to buy painkillers
Kitchen
and heroin.
Nightmares?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
And
What
like
the
he's the guy who went to jail, he's clean for 2 years and he's very earnest and like really trying to like make a go at sober, like
Sure, and then what
straight
happened?
life. And his brother is just a I guess understandably, but like just a huge dick to him. He's like, why don't you go kill? He does say to him, why don't you go kill yourself? Like without like flinching.
And that made you cry?
And it made me cry.
A brother telling a brother to go kill himself?
Yeah.
How many times have you said that to Tommy?
I don't think I've ever,
Tommy
certainly not in any, like, with any level of seriousness.
No, you love Tommy. Does Tommy have a girlfriend?
I don't think so.
You would date his brother?
Oh my god.
No, because he sounds just like John.
Oh, but what you can tell him to do a different voice. Too much work done?
Yeah, Tommy.
Can I add something to the things
No.
that made you cry this week segment?
One time Tommy came to visit Boston, and my roommate and I were downstairs, and
Has she hooked up with Tom?
no, and my roommate came to the kitchen, didn't know, like John was there too, didn't know that Tommy was John's brother, and she came to the kitchen, and she's like, "What's with the jailbait in the living room?"
Oh!
And we were like, "Oh, that's
creepy.
Tommy. He is 17, so don't make out with him."
He's 23 now.
Oh,
My
Yeah,
brother,
that was 6 years ago.
yeah, he's like age appropriate.
6 years ago, 2008.
Tommy knows how I feel.
That's when Wally came out.
Why? Oh my God.
I guess that's it.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for
Gabby, thank you
talking
for
to
coming.
us, losers.
Thank you for singing those songs for us.
First guest.
First guest. And thank you for telling us about John's pooping.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are
my
His
welcome.
His butt sitch.
Anytime.
John, you want to sign it off?
Yeah, excuse me. I'm a Tridarian. Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me.
And then we'll throw it to the song. This is the... This is the song that ends the show. We had such fun, but we must go. If we meet in another life, perhaps I'll take you as my wife. Lights out, Alice. Good night.